As soon as I made $10,000, I would take 5 of it and go hire somebody. Even though I was, paying the bills and living off the other 5,000, every time, I'd get to the 10 level, I'd grab it and I'd hire somebody. Why? Well, because I wanted to grow and scale the business, and you're not going to do that by yourself. What happens is we start out and it's a little bit rough or we're a little bit lean, and then we start making money, right? We start doing pretty well, but now we want to restrict the use of those funds, restrict everything, because we don't want to go back to broke. And a lot of us get scared and we, stop doing what got us there.
Questions. Looking back on LightSpeedVT's growth, right? Because that's really, obviously you got a bunch of companies. That's one of the main things that I know you for. What do you attribute the scale of that company to? Because it's scaled into like a massive 8 figures, if not close to 9.
Well, I got to tell you, Cody, you're dead wrong on that. I got it as far as I could by myself, like an idiot, on accident, And then I just now hired a C-suite to come in here and take it to the next levels. Why? Because guys, no matter how cool you are and how good you are, you're not going to be able to take it to the next level if you're looking to go there. A lot of these companies that I'm seeing right now, they're kind of, in the predicament I was in. And to scale a company, you're going to need to leverage technology and people. That's how that business grows. So Cody, what you see is me struggling for 20 years trying to, do it all myself. And it just wasn't working. I got it to 8 figures, but guys, it's pretty easy to get a software company to 8 figures, if you ask me, especially when you got the gift of gab and you can close anybody on earth. And so I had those 2 things going for me. But, at the end of the day, to take it to the next level, it requires people and technology. That's the 2 things you focus on.
I think there's a lot of people that can on this call that can benefit from the people piece, by the way. There's a lot of mid 6-figure earners that are doing a lot. They're doing it all.
What does everybody do here? Just entrepreneurs or insurance or what?
Yeah, they're all insurance agency owners specifically. It's a mix between life and health, P&C, Medicare, et cetera. Majority are agency owners. Some have a retail location. Some do business virtually. So it's a mix, but they're all in the insurance industry specifically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm honored to be able to speak with such esteemed colleagues.
I love it. What would you attribute? Think about LightSpeed. Like, how long's LightSpeed been in existence?
21 years.
Okay. So at what point did you start, for how many years did you not staff around you much at all?
21 years. No, I'm just messing with you. You guys, it took me a long time because it got very difficult for me to allow a customer to be talked to if I wasn't the one talking to them. Why? Well, because no one's going to talk to them the way I would talk to them. And now we're going to lose all this opportunity. And, I just kind of freaked out. But in the beginning, it was me. And then I found the guy that could build the software. And there's a long story to it, but ultimately when we started to scale, as soon as I made $10,000, I would take 5 of it and go hire somebody. Even though I was, paying the bills and living off the other 5,000, every time, I'd get to the 10 level, I'd grab it and I'd hire somebody. Why? Well, because I wanted to grow and scale the business, and you're not going to do that by yourself. What happens is we start out and it's a little bit rough or we're a little bit lean, and then we start making money, right? We start doing pretty well, but now we want to restrict the use of those funds, restrict everything, because we don't want to go back to broke. And a lot of us get scared and we, stop doing what got us there. So I didn't make that mistake. I was kind of a gunslinger. So every time I got up to 10,000, I'd take 5,000. hire someone else. But now that there was 2 of us to get back to 10. So we'd get back to 10 quicker. And then bam, I'd hire a 3rd one. And then we'd get back quicker and quicker and quicker. And pretty soon, you gain momentum and whatnot. And next thing you know, we're doing $1 million a month. And I was like, holy shit, $1 million a month. I mean, you can hire pretty much anybody you want when you hit $1 million a month. And you look around, and I never would have got to $1 million a month had I not hired all those people. Because that's a lot of people doing a lot of things. So in that case, I guess, I accidentally did the right thing by scaling, but we built technology, but we also leveraged technology. But the crazy part, the reason I beat myself up is because it took me a long time to get to my business rather than helping everybody else with theirs. Like subject matter experts like Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins, I was helping them build, virtual courses and marketing plans and all kinds of things. And so we weren't really working on light speeds. So at the end of the day, when you look back, you have to leverage technology and people to scale anything. Now, if you know you're going to be hiring people, would it make sense to have a training system? A system? Well, sure it would. Problem is, I wasn't eating my own medicine. I was out there telling everybody they should buy a training system for their business because it's miraculous, but I didn't build one for LightSpeed. And it took a long time to onboard people. And it took a long time to make sure that they understood what to say. And it took a long time to get them to really get what I call up to speed. So finally, after probably 16 years of doing it the hard way, manually, operating a training business, I finally systematized and built the training for our own organization. And that's kind of when we shot up. As soon as we were able to scale, and when you scale, you're going to hire people. Who's going to train them? What are they going to say? Get that prepared before you scale, if you ask me. Be prepared to scale.
Yeah, that's good. At what point were you working on it instead of in it? What point was that?
I swear to you, I'm not making a joke. I've been working in it this entire time. Wow. It's not the right thing to do. That's why I'm only doing 8 figures and not 10. What I should have been doing was working on it the whole time. But again, I was too stubborn to let go. I didn't trust anybody to do anything as good as I would have done it. I wanted to make sure everything stayed going. I didn't want to lose anything. And then I got to a point here recently when I just hired the C-suite that, all I should be doing is watching the numbers go up or down. If they go down, I need a new C-suite. If they go up, leave them alone. And so I just turned it over. I've got 7 businesses completely ran by other organizations. And now I'm just looking at the numbers. They go up, good. They go down, not good. And that's, to me, where I'm happy, because now I can just go smoke cigars and make social media funny shit.
TikTok.
Dropping bombs, my podcast, write a book, put on a course, put on an event. Who knows? Start another organization.
Yep.
Is that what we're talking about today? Is anybody here scaled an organization? I mean, I know a few of you have. Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen a John. Yeah. You know, John Wetmore.
He's scaled an organization.
He has scaled an organization. That's
and I guarantee you ask him about technology and people, and that's how he did it. You got to have the systems and processes in place to hire the people or technology. Those are the only 3 tricky things. And the crazy thing is when people ask me, what's the hardest thing about business? It's people. It's dealing with the people. And the reason why I found it difficult to deal with the people is because I always wanted to hire the people that seemed smart or, appeared like, they gave a shit, and I'd hire them and they didn't, or they were wrong. And it took me, 3 months. And by that time we became buddies. So now I don't want to fire my buddy. Now I feel bad because they got freaking kids at home. And here I am, an asshole, going to fire them because, well, they're not even close to doing what I wanted them to do. But it was my fault. Why? Because I didn't even know what I wanted them to do or how I was going to measure them or how I was going to train them before I even hired them, which is stupid. That's the dumbest thing possible. Before you hire anybody, you have to know exactly what you want them to do, right? And how are you going to measure it? And how are you going to train them to do that? Otherwise, why are you hiring anybody? You're not ready to scale. You scale by creating systems and processes that can be duplicated with people and technology. So step one is get the systems and processes. The crazy part is some of you guys that aren't scaled, you're working your ass off for $600,000-$700,000 a year. You think you're living, which you're not, because you must be busy making that kind of money, which means now you don't have much time to actually live at all. But you're making a lot of money. You got a nice watch, you got a nice car, you got a nice house. You're what I call broke at another level. You know, you're just as broke as everybody else is. You're just broke with money. It still sucks. But, you know, how do we leverage that? Well, dude, you got the money. So when you have the money, now you've got the resources to start putting things in place where you just slowly back out, where now it's just, you're looking at a report every week. You're looking at a report and your people hope you don't call. You don't want Amy calling after she sees the report. Do they, Amy? No. Okay. Oh, Tony G, you don't want Tony calling you. Okay. But if you guys are doing all the work, dude, and by the way, I mean, some of you are younger, some of you are older. It depends on where you are in life. I always tell people there's no key to success. It's more of a combination and y'all have your own. So you got to figure out where that is. You know, you got to figure out where you are. Some people love the grind. They love working 80 hours, 90 hours, 100 hours a week. They think they're being entrepreneurial. And in reality, now that I'm looking back, you're just being naive. You're being foolish. You can't sell a company that you have to be included in. Like if you can't sell a company that you're required. Nobody wants to buy Tony G. They want to buy, you know, Tony G Financial Services or whatever. And they want it to be a machine. So how do you make it a machine? Systems, processes. Right? Get prepared. One of the things most people miss is a training system. I mean, you know, Cody, you mentioned Real Financial, dude. I got a training system because the LightSpeed in my studios, I got a training system that can just freaking take a person that, and by the way, like the whole industry is all these a little incestuous, I found, where everybody wants to steal everybody. I'm like, dude, I'll just freaking go make brand new ones. They're like, why are you going to train them? Well, that's the thing. I got systems and processes in place, man. So I give you a password, get logs in, it pops up, it says what it is, bitches. You ready to make some dough? First step, first thing. Hey, don't worry about that until we worry about this. Boom, 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 boom. And I can onboard and get people up to speed quickly, or more importantly, weed them out quickly. Like, dude, I'm not here to save everybody. I always tell people, dude, I can save you from drowning, but you got to swim towards me. Shit, I ain't coming after you. End up drowned myself. All pissed off at the world, working 120 hours, making a bunch of money, pretending I'm rich, and I'm not. Because I don't care how much money you have, folks, if you don't have any time to enjoy it, are you really rich?
That's good. That's good.
Just a Bradley observation, folks. For some reason, because, you know, Cody's check didn't bounce, I feel the obligation to continuing to talk. No, just joking.
I'm not going to stop you. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. One of the things you just said that I loved was one thing I made a mistake on. Like there's being able to identify that and help agents with that right now. Like there's a lot of agents that are making mistakes with that specifically. And they are trying to play way above their means or, you know, whatever.